Hello and good morning. This is Kay from EzzyBills. I'm going to present the SIMPRO webinar today. Some of you might already know me. Some of you might already have interacted with me. I'm the EzzyBills guy who handles SIMPRO customers. Right, let's get started. This are the topics of today's webinar. So as the section says, we will first go through the setup of EzzyBills and SIMPRO. And yes, it does not take a lot of time. It only takes about 6 minutes in total. Since I will be showing you how it's done, it might take a little bit more than 6 minutes, but when you do it by yourself, it is going to be, I will say, 2-3 minutes to create an EzzyBills trial, and then another 2-3 minutes to connect it with your SIMPRO, and then you're ready to go. The next section would be the settings configuration in EzzyBills to match what you would want in your SIMPRO in terms of exports, how you would want your bills to be exported. Follow through, we will then have project manager workflow, contractor invoices workflow, and the job cost workflow. Now, for some of you, job cost workflow would literally work like a miracle because I have over the past 3 years, I have come across clients who sometimes do not create purchase orders before they buy stuff for the job. And in that case, all the manual hassle of creating the PO, creating the receipts, all that stuff is taken away by our job cost workflow. It automates practically all the 3 steps. And I'll also show you the dual account setup, as we call it, wherein you can have both SIMPRO as well as your accounting software. You might be using Xero, QuickBooks, MYOB. I'll show you how to set up your dual account so that you can manage both connections from one EzzyBills entity. And towards the end, we will keep some time spare for question answers. I'll highlight that while during the session, if you have any questions with respect to that point that I'm explaining, feel free to pop it in the chats. I have enabled the chats. I will take periodical breaks to look into your questions and then I will respond to them. So let's begin with the theory. So first, we're going to go into setup of EzzyBills and then setting up dual account structure. EzzyBills does support multiple entities. So what that means is if you have multiple companies in SIMPRO or you have some companies of yours are in SIMPRO and then you have different businesses, you can use one EzzyBill account to have them all under one roof, under one subscription. So that saves you a lot of money. And then we will look into basic settings and configurations. I will be showing you how it's done in EzzyBills. So there are a few things we recommend as soon as you set up your account, like adding your ABN, adding your business name, item code extraction. You can turn them on and off. All these settings, they help EzzyBills software in identifying if you have put in your ABN or your business name, then the software, while reading the bill, if it finds the identical name or the ABN, EzzyBills knows it's your ABN or it's your business name, and it will ignore that and it will go and find supplier ABN and supplier information on the bill. And then we're going to look into the workflows as well. I will deep dive into how you can create multiple workflows, how you can configure the workflows, how you can change the workflows to suit your business processes. Um, and when your EzzyBills account is new uh, and you upload the bills, the EzzyBills engine itself is trying to make a sense out of what information is on the bill and what is not. So in front of you, there is a standard Bunnings bill, right? And it on the right-hand side where I'm showing you the extraction, like invoice number, order number, who's the supplier, etc., as well as all the line items. Now notice in this case, the item column also consists a little bit part of the description, which is not correct. But this might happen in the beginning simply because your account is new, your bills are new to the EzzyBills system. In that case, what we do is we do custom extraction. What that simply means is we teach the systems, we add some rules so that when you upload the supplier bill, Bunnings in this case, EzzyBills will then identify just this part as part number and then the description as description. I am going to show you. So in the screenshot, this is how it looks, wherein a little bit of description has come across an item code, when we will do the testing, I will show you how the custom extraction will work, wherein the extraction is going to be the correct. And if you are new, if you see EzzyBills is not extracting correct values from your invoice, all you need to do is grab that document ID, take a screenshot and highlight what needs the correction and send it to us. And then we will look into it and we will add the custom extraction rules to it. That point onwards, whenever you upload that supplier bill, those rules will get triggered and we will automatically extract the correct information. And then towards the end, we will also go into customizations, which is quite advanced. I'll give you a few examples. So let's start with the actual, I will say action. So as I said, it takes about 6 minutes, right? So let's start the first step. So the first step that you will do is you're going to come on EzzyBills website and sign up for a free trial. Now I am on EzzyBills website and I'm going to hit 14 days free trial, right? And then the registration page comes up, which has very few details. I'm going to fill them one by one. Now, one pro tip here, whatever you put in your username, EzzyBills uses that username to create your upload email address. So if I just put my company name, for example, EasyDoc, the email address is going to be EzzyDoc@ezzybills.com, rah, rah, rah. But since I know I'm going to use this account to connect it with my SIMPRO, I can simply pop that keyword in there, EzzyDoc-SIMPRO, and then we will see the email address that EzzyBills comes up with of the upload email address. And the most critical step in here is your location. You need to choose the right one. If you're Australia, Australia, New Zealand, New Zealand, and then in integrate with, we have a huge list of integrations. I'm going to select SIMPRO in here and do that. I'm not a robot, obviously, and hit register. So I literally took less than 2 minutes to fill this page. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same for you as well. And then the EzzyBills trial account is created and immediately I get a pop-up that connect to SIMPRO. Because I have chosen SIMPRO as my integration software, EzzyBills is telling me connect to SIMPRO. I will tell you how to go there again. Just we will spend some time on the dashboard. So now I have an account, which is a trial account, which says EzzyDoc-SIMPRO. And because I chose EzzyDoc-SIMPRO as the username, look at the email address EzzyBills has created for me where I can send my bills. It's EzzyDoc-SIMPRO@ezzybills1.com. Now it's fairly easy to identify just from that email I see there when I'm sending my bills to EzzyBills. If that bill is regarding to a job or a PO, that is the email address where I'm going to send it to. And let's just go ahead and create a dual account structure. So I have one entity, EzzyDoc-SIMPRO. Now I also use Xero. I also want to have my Xero in it. So I can use it for my overheads and utilities, things that don't go to SIMPRO, things that go directly to Xero. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into the settings here. This is the navigation menu. We have settings in here. I'll just click settings. And the first option I see in the settings is add new account. So this is the new account or new instance for Xero. So I'm just gonna click on add new account and exactly the same steps that I did while I was signing up for EzzyBills-SIMPRO account. Now I'm just going to use the same username, but I'm going to mention the keyword Xero. So when I get my upload email address, it will be EzzyDoc-Xero@ezzybills.com. You can put in the same email. This email is nothing but notification email. So anything happens with the account, like a PO check fails or an export fails or anything fails, and you want to be notified about that action, then this is the email that you should put in. If you have an admin email where you want all those notifications to go, this email should be your admin email. Now, while I'm creating this EzzyDoc-Xero instance, and I am also setting a password, as a master user, I do not need to remember that password. For a simple reason, we are creating this instance. underneath the SIMPRO account. So SIMPRO acts like a parent account. EzzyDoc-SIMPRO, this username acts like a parent username. As long as I log into that username, I will always have access to my child instance. But in some cases, if you wish to give access to specific employees or your bookkeeper, or your accountant to just Xero entity, then you can note down this username and the password that you're setting, and you can pass it on to respective person. So when they use this username and password, they will only have access to that child account and they will not see your SIMPRO. This is what we call access restriction. If you give someone the master or the parent account credentials, they will be able to see all the instances in your account. But if you give the child instance, they will only see child details. So everything looks all right. I'm just going to go ahead and hit add account. So it takes a few seconds, and now I have Xero instance in my EzzyBills. Let's refresh. There you go. Now I've refreshed it, and at the top drop down, I can see EzzyDoc-SIMPRO. That was the first trial I created. That's my main instance. And then from settings, I added a new child account to this account, which is EzzyDoc-Xero. Now, once this account is set up, this is your dual account structure. And now all that we need to do is do the right connections. So on our SIMPRO instance, we will connect our SIMPRO. I will show you it in the live environment. And on our Xero, we're just gonna go Xero. Let's look at Xero first because it's 10 times easier than SIMPRO. So if I wanna go in my Xero instance, I will come here and simply toggle to Xero. Now notice, since we use EzzyDoc-Xero as the keyword combination while creating this instance, EzzyBills has given me the upload email address ezzydoc0@ezzybills1.com. Now these email addresses itself acts as a classification, and you know if you're sending something to SIMPRO, you will send it to SIMPRO email, and then you're sending something to Xero, you will send it to Xero email. Now connecting Xero is super simple. All you need to do is you need to go into the apps section, right? But you need to be sure. Now I know that I can see my Xero instance. So I'm just going to go into apps and I'm going to click on this connect button in Xero. As soon as I click connect button, it's going to take me to my Xero. Now I'm not going to complete the connection because I do not have Xero, but I'm pretty sure you will. And it works exactly the same for all the other softwares as well, like QuickBooks, MYOB. You just click connect and then it takes you to the connection page. You click connect again. It redirects you to your Xero. You put in your details and then it's connected. In case if you have multi-file Xero, wherein you have more than one file in Xero, in that case, there comes an additional step where EzzyBills will show you a drop down when you're on the Xero page and you need to choose the right entity for which you have created that EzzyBills account. So let's go back to the connections. Now we have our Xero account, assuming Xero is connected. Now we need to move back to the SIMPRO account to connect it with our SIMPRO. Now you've all noted that in the beginning, I only spent, let's say, about a couple of minutes in creating the EzzyBills trial. Now I'm going to show you how you can connect it with SIMPRO. You can also follow our website guide from our website. If you go to EzzyBills.com, in the support, you have all the software. So you can go to SIMPRO, set up EzzyBills trial and connect to SIMPRO. You can also follow this page as well. It's exactly the same. We have already done the step 1, wherein we created our EzzyBills trial. Now we're gonna do the step 2, which is a SIMPRO step. You do this in SIMPRO, and then the step 3 is back in EzzyBills. So you can follow this document as well, but in which ways I will show you in SIMPRO. So this is how my SIMPRO looks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into setup. From the settings here, I will go into setup. In the setup, I will go to API and applications. Now in here, I'm just going to create an application, right? And in the company name, I'll simply type in EzzyBills. Copy that, paste it in the name. That's it. So these two are the most critical things. You just type in EzzyBills in company, you just type in EzzyBills in the name, and in authentication method, you will select API key. Now, if I show you, this is exactly the same. It tells you go to System, Set up API Applications, Create Application, and then you put in EzzyBills in company, EzzyBills in name, and select API key as your authentication method. As soon as you're done, you hit Create. I'm assuming you would take, let's say, 2 minutes to do this, and Simpro tells you the key for application EzzyBills is available, and you just need to download that key. Now, I shall download the key. Now, this is what you will get once you download the key, right? This is how it looks. I've just downloaded that. There is only one thing you need from this file, which is the access token. You will simply copy this access token, go back to EzzyBills. As we know, all the connections sit in the apps section. This is where you will go. You'll click Simpro, and the key that you've copied, you're going to paste it in Simpro key section. Simpro host is nothing but the URL that you see while you are in Simpro. You can copy the whole URL, absolutely no problems there. And then the company name, you can type it, you can copy it. That's your company name. And I'm just going to copy it. So there we go. Let me copy that. And I'm just going to paste it just so I want to avoid any typing mistakes, because these things are crucial, right? You cannot do a typing mistake in the company name or in this host URL. It must be copy pasted. That ensures that you're just putting correct details. Once you've put all these three things, you're done. I just hit save, and if I hit test connection now, it is going to tell me I am connected. That's it. Now you are done with your setup. You've created the EzzyBills trial. You've connected it with Simpro. You've also created a Xero account, connected it with Xero. Your account setup is now complete. You have two instances, one for Simpro, one for Xero. Both are connected. You can start throwing bills right away in EzzyBills. Now we're going to that stage. Before we go there, we will simply look at the settings. For Simpro, it's essential that you do enable a few settings. They are in the settings, advanced options. Now, in item invoices, the first two will already be enabled for Simpro, allow stock invoices and guess item code. The third setting, allow EzzyBills to create new items, is your choice. What it means is when you process a bill and EzzyBills comes to a conclusion that few item codes in this bill are not in your Simpro. What would you like EzzyBills to do at that stage? Do you want EzzyBills to show you a flag or an error saying item code is not in your Simpro catalog? You need to add it. Or you want EzzyBills to create the item code so that you don't have to do it manually and process the bill. Most of our clients go ahead with the item creation setting. That's when you will just tick this box in here, allow EzzyBills to create new items, and you will hit save settings. That's pretty much it. That's all you need to do. However, in case you do not want EzzyBills to create new items in your catalog, you are good to go without this setting, correct? So it's just a choice. Some clients want it, some clients don't want it. It depends on you. If you want it, you can turn it on, and we will create items in your catalog. Whenever we create items in your catalog, we always put them in the no group section in your catalog. So you can then revisit, delete if you don't want them into your catalog, or map them to the correct supplier. That's also your choice. You can also, weekly, you can do the cleanup and delete those items. Even if you delete those items from the no group section, they will still stay in your receipts and your costings will be correct. So this is the setting. There are no other settings, but if you want to go advanced, and if while processing bills, you see that EzzyBills is not capturing your PO numbers, and simply because the keyword parameter, usually it's order number, but it's just, let's say it's customer reference or some other keyword, and you want to include that in EzzyBills keyword extraction for PO, then you can come here. It's just below. your item invoices, and then if you scroll down, you will see PO matching. If you want to add keywords that appear on your bill in front of the purchase orders, you can then come here and you can add those keywords. For example, let's say reference. If that is the keyword that appears on one of my supplier bills, and in front of that keyword is where the PO number and I want to grab it, I will just put that keyword here, reference, right? Like that. And I will add plus sign to the back of it. What this plus signs means is use the EzzyBills default keyword list of whatever purchase order keywords EzzyBills has, add this keyword to that list. And you can add more keywords. And this only if we are not grabbing the PO when you are uploading the bills. If we are already grabbing the purchase orders, you don't have to do this. So item code setting has been done. Now let's go and let's see what workflow you get when you create the account. So by default, when you create a trial for SIMPRO, our default workflow, which also is a starter plan workflow, it's the SIMPRO PO check. As the name suggests, all it does is you throw a bill in EzzyBills, we grab everything off the bill, we go and we check the PO in SIMPRO, we create a receipt on it. That's all it does, right? If you want to test, let's go ahead and test this one. So I already have created a PO in my SIMPRO for testing. And I'm just going to drag and drop a bill in EzzyBills. Now there's multiple options. I am doing the drag and drop. You can, if you receive bills on email, you can choose to forward them. You can have auto forward, whichever setting you choose, that is fine. We also have an email sync setting. I'm not going to go in details into that settings at the moment because you can sign up for our weekly demos and you will get that information here, there. So I have uploaded the standard Bunnings bill, this one, onto EzzyBills now. We will see what happens in a moment. Just because this is the first bill and it's a new account, the first bill will always take 3 to 4 minutes because we are syncing the whole information. Once that is done, the next bill onwards, if everything falls in place, if the PO is correct, it's in correct stage, your bill is correct, it will go straight to SIMPRO in about 1 minute or so. All right. There you go. As you see on my screen, it's under 1 minute. I have created this. It's a new account. We've connected it with SIMPRO and I dropped the bill. And in under 1 minute, that bill that we just dropped has already been exported to SIMPRO. And then now let's go and check how it looks in SIMPRO. Whenever we export a bill to SIMPRO, we log all the details that are important, like the key information. So that is the receipt number in SIMPRO, that is the invoice number from the bill, total amount, tax amount, date, and the PO number. Now, in future, if you want to backtrack something, like if you want to search a specific thing in EzzyBills, be it using PO number or total amount or invoice number, you can simply use this search bar. And let's say I want to see everything that has gone through to SIMPRO on this PO number. I will simply put that PO number in here and I get that in the result. Now I just have one, so obviously we get it, but the search functionality is quite extensive. Anything you see in this details can be searched using our search functionality. And when we export the bill, we do put in SIMPRO link as well. So if you click on that link, it will take you directly to SIMPRO. As for one point, which was custom extraction, you did say how, I'm just going to go back to the slide. So this is how the extraction was, right? Now, when I processed this bill, we have the same extraction. What I'm going to do now is what we call custom extraction. I'm going to put in a rule which will extract the bill in different format. So let me quickly put that in. And I will need to upload the bill again. So I have added the rule and I'm just going to simply upload the bill again. Now, understand, because this bill has already gone through to Simpro and I have uploaded the same bill again, it is going to file with either check PO failed or same invoice number, something like that. But we are not bothered about that. All we want to see is how the extraction works. Now, this is how it worked when I uploaded the first time. Hopefully, I have uploaded it again, and hopefully we will see the correct item code on the next bill that we will extract. Meanwhile, we will just go and we will check this out in Simpro. So this is the receipt that EzzyBills has created 3020. You can see all the line items, all the quantity, everything comes in nice and clean. And also the PO number. This PO started as a blank purchase order. EzzyBills has obtained all the information, like it adds all the lines and then it creates the receipt. As also in the attachments, you will find the bill PDF. So it's pretty standard whenever we export anything to either Simpro or Xero, you will always get the attachment. If we exported it to Simpro, we attach it in Simpro. If we have exported something in Xero, you will always get the PDF attachment in Xero, as also all the line items. In case if you do not see all the line items from the bill, then that would be a case of extraction, which I'm just going to show you. So if we have not extracted all the line items, that would be the only reason why you would not see them in your Simpro. Now, the other one has failed. Let's quickly go and check the extraction. There you go. We can see it side by side. So this was the first one, which I uploaded, in which case the extraction was not correct. I'm talking about the table extraction. This is how the table got extracted, a little bit of description information in the item code. And then after we've done the custom extraction learning, you can see the difference here. It extracts item code correctly and the description correctly. Now, henceforth, any bunning spill that will come in, you will see it extracting like that, the correct extraction. And if you see the wrong extraction, all you've got to do is you've got to go grab the doc ID, because that is what we use to trace the document in the system. And you send it to us saying, description is not extracting correctly. And it's not just limited to description. It's pretty much limited to all the parameters on the bill. It could be invoice date, invoice number, total amount, tax amount. We do have custom learnings that we can do, and we can get the correct extraction. All right. So moving on. So this is PO check workflow, right? And the next thing in line is work orders, which is your contractor invoices. Now, I'm not going to do a live testing, but I'm going to show you how you can create the contractor workflow, and it works exactly like the same. The process is exactly the same. We will grab the bill, extract everything. The only difference is purchase orders is more of item, part number, description format. Service orders, which is your contractor invoices, they're more of a service format. So total amount is more important. So let's go to workflows. And in here, you only see Simpro PO check. You need to create a contractor workflow. It's fairly simple. All you do is you go to new workflow and you say create workflow using template. And then again, create from templates. In here, you can search contractor. Now, there you go. You've got two of them there, Simpro Contractor Workflow and Contractor Project Manager. We will look at that in a moment. Simpro Contractor Workflow, I've selected that and I hit create. As soon as I hit create, I will have a new workflow, which is Contractor Job Workflow. As also, you can see the upload email address for this specific workflow. Now, this is the thing to note. If you just have one single workflow, that is always your active workflow. By active, it means although you see this workflow specific email address here, you don't need to use it because you can simply use the one that you see on the dashboard, easy.simpro@ezzybills1.com. All that this email address does is it receives a bill and it gives it to whichever is your first or active workflow. Now, if I click it once to upload, you will see the PO check is first, meaning it's an active workflow. So anything you send here will always go on to the active workflow. If you want to send stuff to secondary workflows, you either need to use workflow specific email to send those bills onto that workflow, or you can also use drag and drop using advanced upload. So if I want to upload something on contractor workflow, all I need to do is I go to advanced, select contractor job, and then I will drag and drop. As soon as you do that, we will extract everything. We will extract the work order number. We'll go in your SIMPRO, check that work order number, and then we will create a contractor invoice on that work order. After we have created the contractor invoice on that work order, we do have a custom feature where we can mark that contractor invoice complete. If you need that, just let us know. We will configure that for you in your account. So by default, when we export the contractor invoice, we do not mark it as complete. There is a tick box in the contractor invoice itself, mark complete. We do not mark it by default. If you want us to do that, just let us know. We'll add that setting for you, and then we will start marking the contractor invoices complete. So PO check is done, contractor invoices is done. That brings us to the next portion, which is approvals. Now, these two workflows that you've seen, they are simple. All they do is they extract the bill, match PO or work order in your SIMPRO based on the number, and export the bill, correct? Create, receipt, export. So there is extract and export straight up. Now, if you want to use approvals, like you want to send bills to project manager automatically, first he or she will approve the bill and then we export it in SIMPRO, correct? You can do that for both the workflows, like purchase orders also support project manager approval workflow as well as contractors work orders as well. To create the workflow, I'm going to do the same steps again. I'm going to go into the new workflow, create using template, and I'm just going to search for project here. Now I get two workflows. One is for purchase orders, this one, SIMPRO project manager approval, and one is for contractor. Now, if you use both of them, you use work orders as well as purchase orders. And if you want both these workflows, you just need to create both of them. So first, let's go create project manager for purchase orders, simple. And then you're gonna just repeat these steps again. So now that workflow has been created. You go back and you repeat the same steps again for your project manager approval workflow for contractor, and then you create it. Once you've done that, now you have 4 workflows. You have 2 basic workflows, which just simply extract and export. And then you have 2 approval workflows, which will extract, look up in SIMPRO who is the project manager for that PO, as in PO is linked to a job, contractor work order is linked to a job, and then the job has the project manager. So automatically, we're going to go check who is the project manager, grab the email address of that project manager, and then send him an approval email. Let's see how that happens. So all I've done is I've created those workflows. I will reiterate again, the email address that you see on the dashboard simply receives files and gives it to the active workflow, which is your PO check. Now I want to upload the bill onto project approval workflow. I have 2 options here. Either I can choose send it to this email address I see here, workflow upload email, or I can drag and drop using advanced upload. I'm going to choose drag and drop. It's quite simple for me. So I have come into advanced, and in here, not the contractor, project approval. So I'm going to select the project approval, and I'm going to simply drag and drop the bill. Yeah. Now, EzzyBills is not going to export straight away because the bill has been uploaded onto project approval workflow. First, EzzyBills will extract everything from the bill. And then next, it's going to go look up the project manager in SIMPRO, and it's going to send an email. There you go. It's already doing that. And once the email has been sent, EzzyBills will tell us that it has been sent to this project manager. Oh, it's already done. 31 seconds. That's how fast EzzyBills is, right? So it's 31 seconds and it has already acted. It has already sent email. I have set myself as project manager for that job, for that PO. So that's how it does. Now, at any given point, if you want to know more details as to what happens with the document, you can always click on the doc ID. And on this screen, you can go to the notes or to the logs. The difference is log is a detailed logs wherein everything gets logged. When the invoice was uploaded, what happened, etc., all the steps. Notes, they give you info from your SIMPRO. So you don't have to keep the SIMPRO open while the approver is doing approval. You don't even need to go in SIMPRO. This is also one of the new features that we have recently incorporated in the product. So in the notes section, I can see the invoice info, which is the invoice. Then I also see the order info, like what's the payer, the type, the order status, total amount, if there are any receipts, order balance, all that. Then I also see the material cost, cost center info, right? And then the approval email. Now, the logs will give you everything in detail. You not necessarily you need to go into the logs as I do see, Daniel, you've raised your hand. You can just put it in the chat and I will go through your questions when I take the next pause. Thank you. So logs will give you every bit of information that you need to know, but as an approver, you can just refer log the notes and then now I am an admin person and I have uploaded that bill and now EzzyBills has sent it to the approver as in the project manager. Let's look at how project manager will get that info. So I'm going to bring up my emails here. And there you go. EzzyBills approval email, EzzyDoc-SIMPRO. This is the approval email EzzyBills has sent, right? And notice it gives you the PDF, it gives you all the key details, but it also gives you all the information. So if you're happy with this bit of information and if you want to quickly approve it as an approver, you can just go ahead with approve or reject. I would recommend click all my approvals button because that will then bring you on approvals screen, approval dashboard, where as an approver, you will see all your bills, right, in one screen. So you don't have to joggle between the screens. Now, I only have one bill as an approver. All I'm going to do is I'm going to hit approve and reject to go onto the approval page. And in here, I can see the PDF. I can see all the details. If I want to change something, let's say I want to change invoice number to something like this. Order number is fine. Total is fine. And I can also see the table. Everything looks fine to me. If I want to put additional notes, I can put additional notes as well. And once I'm happy with everything that I see here, I'm just going to go and hit approve. I do have option to do approve and next. What this means is if I just approve, I will still sit on the screen. If I click approve and next, the EzzyBills will simply pop up the next bill in the queue of approval. I can also reject if I want to reject, but if you're going to reject, I suggest put some notes and then reject. Not for me simply means this bill has come to me, but I'm not the right person to approve it. In here, approver has two options. If you click not for me, the approver can choose who he or she wants to redirect it to. So in here, you can copy paste the email address as well. Once for the first time, you will need to copy paste, and next time onwards, we will save it in the list. And if I don't know who should be approving this bill, I am just going to keep this box empty and I'm going to hit OK. Meaning I don't know who this bill needs to go to, but it's not for me. So I'm going to remove it from my approvals and it will go back and sit in EzzyBills dashboard. I'll show you where in a moment. So let's go ahead and then let's just approve this bill. That's it. Approval is done. Now it's approved. Now EzzyBills will go in and it will export that bill. Now, if I do not for me, and if I don't know who the approval is as an approval, and if I just hit OK, the bill will come back and sit in waiting approval tab. This waiting approval tab is designed to hold all the approvals for which EzzyBill does not know who is the approver or who should they be sent to. Waiting email approval is the bucket where if EzzyBills has already assigned the approval, then that particular bill will sit here. Now, when we configure the workflow, we have the options to either set the approval or to not set. This particular workflow, the job cost workflow, is a dynamic workflow. Whosoever is the project manager in Simpro, EzzyBills will set it, right? But we can also have static approvals wherein other than Simpro, let's say for your Xero, if you want to do approvals, we can choose that X person like Tim. Always for any bills above 5,000, Tim is going to be the approval. So we can choose that in the workflow settings, and EzzyBills will always send approval bills to Tim and will wait in this bucket. If EzzyBills doesn't know, and if we haven't configured, if we haven't configured in the settings to let EzzyBills know who is the approver for the bill, EzzyBills is gonna say, I don't know. I'm gonna put the bill in waiting approval bucket. You as an admin come, you check the bill, and then you assign it to someone. So coming back, there we go. This one for the project manager approval has been exported. Now everything else is going to be the same. The receipt, the PDF attachment, everything else is going to be the same, except there is only going to be one difference. In the attachment, because this bill has gone through to approval, which one was 1214? There you go. You get the stamp. That is the only thing that's going to be different. Because this bill has gone through the approval chain, EzzyBills will stamp it, timestamp it, who approved it, when approved it, when you get the attachment. So when this attachment is sitting in Simpro, and on the attachment itself, you can see who was the approver. Pretty simple. Coming back to questions, taking a pause. Daniel, you've raised your hand. Um, have you popped in the question? I don't see the question. All right, I do see the questions here. Let's go through them. All right, the first question, if we have Xero integration, would the bill go to both Xero and Simpro, or does it need another workflow? Right, so this depends on your configuration, right? It's simple. For us, it's fairly simple to export the bill to both if you want us to, but generally speaking, when we put the bill in Simpro, you do have in Simpro utilities, you do have like this is from my experience of dealing with Simpro clients from the past 3 years. What they do export the bills from their Simpro to their Xero. If you do not have that turned on, you can configure EzzyBills to export to both places, and you do not need to upload twice. We can patch in a customization, which will export the bill to Simpro first, and then it will toggle the same bill in your Xero and I will export in your Xero as well. So you only send it once in your Simpro account. As soon as Simpro EzzyBills account, I mean, as soon as we export it in Simpro, we'll just grab it, toggle it to your Xero instance, and we'll export it in your Xero as well. It's a customization. It might require certain subscription, like an E30. That's where our customizations start, but it is possible. And it doesn't need another workflow. We can manage dual exports with single import from your end. You just need to upload it once in EzzyBills-SIMPRO, and we will have it configured that the export happens in both places. But you need to ensure that your Simpro exports from Simpro to Xero have been turned off. For a simple reason why I'm reiterating this point is we do have EzzyBills does have duplicate check feature. When we export it into Xero, we do check if that bill is duplicate. If it is, we delete it. I am not sure if it happens that we have exported the bill immediately, because for EzzyBills, it's just going to be seconds. In another 5-7 seconds, we will also export it in your Xero. But if Simpro happens to export it at a later stage, I'm not sure if Simpro has the capability to check if that bill going in Xero is a duplicate, and you might end up with duplicate bills. So that's the only thing you will need to check. Then we have another question. If the PO in Simpro already has some line items, will EzzyBills add lines or override them? Great question. So if your Simpro PO already has line items on it, then we will do line item matching. So I've already shown you the bill and I've already shown you the extraction, right? So this is how the table gets extracted. Now we have the item code, we have the description. If your PO has lines on it, this scenario that I have tested in the webinar is a blank PO scenario. There was no lines in the PO. Hence, we populated lines first and then we created a receipt. If your PO in SIMPRO has lines in it, it's fairly simple. When we reach to the stage, the PO check has passed, it's in right state. And when we reach to the stage where we look in the PO and we see the lines on it, that's when we're gonna do the line item matching for each line. So it's just like match the pairs. On one end, we have your lines from the PO. I can actually show you in the logs. This is how it would look like. So these are lines from your PO, and then these would be lines from your receipt, that the bill that you've uploaded. Now this is a little bit confusing. So just to make it clear. So then what we're going to do is we have about 7, 8 lines here. We will grab the first line part number, then we will check in your PO. We will match the part numbers. As soon as the part number matches, we will update the quantity in the receipted quantity column in your SIMPRO PO. We will do that for all the lines, and then we create a receipt. If while doing the line item matching based on the item code, if some lines do not match, it might happen. You have a different part number, supplier has a different part number. So if they don't match with the part number, then the logic, we have extensive list of logic as well. So the logic number 2 gets kicked in, which is match based on description. So let's say you have total 5 lines, 3 of them matched with the part number, 2 of them didn't. Now we will go to description matching for those 2 lines and the line description on the bill and line description on your PO. If they match, we will then receipt that quantity and we create the receipt. If it comes to a scenario wherein we've tried both, but it did not match and there's still a few lines left on the bill, that simply means those lines are extra. Like you've ordered 5 items, supplier has sent you 7 items. Some could be on back order or some you've just ordered on the phone. In that case, it's a configuration setting where either we can amend the PO, we call it trust bill setting, or we can flag that invoice for your review in progress tab. So in progress tab, we will flag it either in progress or in filed. You will see it flagged saying, catalog error, catalog item error, expected more line item, something like that. And then depending on what you would want, if you want us to go ahead and adjust the PO, like there's 2 lines which are not on the PO. If you want us to add those lines to the PO and create a receipt, I will configure your EzzyBills in that fashion. Those settings will be put in. If you want us to flag it, we will simply flag it, like for your review. And then you manually come here, you see the error, and then you take a decision on it, right? For example, this one. Now I have uploaded the same invoice, hence it says duplicate, right? Now it's going to sit in file. Now, once you see something in file, you will need to take action on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check if this already exists in SIMPRO. Now I know this exists. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete it. So I want to keep my failed bucket and my in progress bucket empty so that I don't get confused. So if we configure EzzyBills to flag the catalog difference, we will flag it and then you will need to handle it manually. Hope that answers your question. All right. So there's another question. Can the approval workflow be set up to go to SalesPerson in SIMPRO rather than Project Manager? Absolutely, yes. I will show you how you can do it. So you need to go into the workflow. You can go into the project approval workflow. Now, this is a little bit advanced. So just, I don't know, just focus. So you go here and there's quite a few in workflow. We have quite a few steps. The steps that you see here are the steps that are shown on the front end. And then we have heaps of steps, which we do when we are doing the configurations in the back end as well. So the sequence needs to be correct. But this is a simple change. So you go into this project manager approval task. And in here, you have approval type and an empty space to put the value. And we have given you the documentation here. So if you wanted to go to salesperson, all you need to do is you copy that keyword there, put it there, and you hit save. That's it, done. Now what's going to happen is for all the bills that EzzyBills will receive on this workflow, instead of project manager, we will send it to salesperson. You can also send it to creator if you do this, correct? If you do this, then the approver is the creator. So one of the three, but it can only be one of the three. It cannot be either this or this. For that, you will have to have two different workflows, right? If you want to, for few bills, you want to send it to salesperson. For few, you want to send it to project manager. The solution then would be you have two similar workflows and you can name them salesperson approval and project manager approval or PO creator approval. You can name them. And in that settings, you will have the right setting. And then you need to send the bill to the right workflow. If you want it, if you want to send to salesperson, you'll need to upload it to salesperson. If you want to send it to project manager, you just need to upload it to project manager. And that's how it gets handled. Hope that answers your question. If the invoice replaces, next question, if the invoice replaces the lines on the PO with correct lines and quantities, then closes the PO. What happens when there is additional invoice for that PO? Well, it's a standard case. We call it multiple receipts or partial receipts. So if you have created catalog PO, the type of the PO is catalog, not description, then the catalog PO in SIMPRO does support multiple receipts on it. And if we have already processed an invoice and 3 days later you get the second invoice, which is the second receipt on that PO, we will simply go ahead and create a second receipt using the bill that you just uploaded. However, as I mentioned previously, if the export mode is set to the PO priority mode, meaning everything everything that's on the PO, the bill when comes in, it has to fall in line with the PO. If there are any lines on the bill which do not fall in line with the PO, meaning they are not on the PO, we will flag it. We will stop it. We will not process it. That's the PO priority mode. So you are expecting items for what you've ordered. Anything that outside that scope will be flagged by EzzyBills. That's our PO mode, PO priority mode. And then we have exactly opposite, which is bill priority mode. In that case, PO might have those items or might not have. Based on the bill, we will amend the PO. We will either add the items to the PO, whichever are missing, and then we'll create a receipt. So these are configurable things which we configure when we set up your account. So if you want to know more or if you want to configure one or the other, by default, it's trust PO, the PO mode. If you want to go with the bill mode, let us know. Send us an email and then we will just do it for you. All right. So those questions are done. I do have some more. Yeah. Is it required for people that approve invoices to have EzzyBills account access? No, absolutely not. I just showed you how it works, right? When EzzyBills sends the approval email, it gives you the access. You do not need any login. That's the beauty of EzzyBills. For approval functionality of EzzyBills, EzzyBills sends approval an email. This is where you get access. You do not need to even know. As an approver doesn't even need to know what EzzyBills is. He's going to receive the email. He's going to see the bill. He can click on all my approvals, all approvals, and he will go on that screen. He will see all the bills, does the approval, closes that screen, goes away. Done. Simple. Do we have to manually upload invoices in every workflow? Can EzzyBills move it automatically from one workflow to another, like SIMPRO PO check to project? No, not really. That is not so. This is really subjective. We do not move bills from and to other workflows for a simple reason. When a bill has landed onto one workflow, it must follow that workflow. We do have functionality wherein you as an admin can change workflows. For example, if it comes onto your workflow and if it fails, and let's say it's a contractor invoice and you uploaded it onto your workflow, and then you realize, oh, it's a contractor invoice. In that case, we can have customizations in place where you can click modify button. So just to show you, if let's say this has failed and I want to switch the workflow for this one, I can click modify button, and on the modify screen is where we give you the switch workflow. Now you will not see anything here because it needs to be configured with right customizations. You can then use this to switch, right? So by default, we do not switch um, just between the workflows because I don't think that would be right. Like if something is gone on PO workflow, we will process it on PO workflow. So Daniel's question. Sorry, I came to your question pretty late. Could you clarify the best way to categorize invoices that need to be sent to different managers for approval? Well, you really don't need to categorize them because if you are using the project manager or salesperson or PO creator in your SIMPRO, you just need to send bills to project manager approval workflow of EzzyBills. And EzzyBills is going to identify who is the right project manager, and it's going to send bill to the right project manager. So you really don't need to categorize the bills unless you're not using the project manager workflow. If you're going to manually assign bills to the project manager and you're not using it in SIMPRO, like your project managers are not updated in SIMPRO, in that case, you will need to go with the manual option. Otherwise, this workflow just does it by itself. It simply automates. All right. So moving on to the next state, we are almost to the end. So I've shown you purchase orders. I've shown you work orders. The last thing that's remaining is the job cost workflow, correct? Now, it's exactly the same. You will go ahead, you will create new workflow, create from templates. You will select, you'll just type in job and the workflow comes up. Select it, create it. And then now you have job cost workflow. Now, what this workflow does is, now so far, both the workflows that we have seen, purchase orders and contractor work orders, they need to have something in SIMPRO. Like for obviously purchase orders, they need to have purchase orders, and contractors, they need to have work orders. In case your team has technicians was on the field and then gone ahead and then bought some stuff, and now that stuff, it gives you the bill and tells you the job, and now you need to record it on that job. The traditional method would be you go in SIMPRO, you create the PO, you put in the stuff, and then you forward that bill, right? That will be the traditional method, which is too time consuming. In such cases, you can straight up use job cost workflow. And this workflow does wonders when you are recording your parking tickets, your food expenses, all those receipts, small receipts. This workflow does wonders. So what I'm going to do, I have a receipt here. I'm just going to, so that's a receipt. That's how it looks like. It's a proper receipt. It's, let's say, a food receipt. I want to record it on SIMPRO, and I don't want to go through the hassle of creating PO and all that stuff. So I will send it directly to the job cost. So I'm just going to select job cost, drag and drop here. Now, in about a few moments, EzzyBills is going to come back and say, you've uploaded something on the job cost workflow. I don't know what job you want to record to. Just tell me the job. It's fairly simple. So there you go. Extraction has started. Let's wait a few seconds for it. All right, so here you go. It EzzyBills simply says assign job failed, job missing. And when this happens, you will also get an email. So in case you're working off email, there you go. That's the email that I've received. Please choose a job. Now I can simply hit modify and I can do it from here as well. But because I'm in the dashboard, I'll show you the dashboard method. All I need to do now is click that button here, assign job. And on that assigned job page, I can check the receipt quickly, cross-check the total amount. This looks right. Now there's no invoice number, it says receipt. Let's say I want to put that as invoice number. I'll quickly change it. Let's say 28927, something like that. Everything else is fine. I don't need to change anything. The only thing that's super crucial here, I'll just click here and I'll search the job from SIMPRO, whichever job I want to record. Let's say electrical installation. This is the job I want to record it onto. I've selected the job. I've searched for it, selected it, and I just go and I hit save. That's it, done. Now, EzzyBills is going to create a purchase order on that job using that receipt information. On that purchase order, EzzyBills will also create a receipt and then it will attach the PDF. So all the three things that otherwise you would have had to do manually and would have taken maybe, I don't know, 4-ish minutes for one bill completely get automated. And we will see that in a moment. So there you go. In under a minute, it has done everything. So that is the PO number EzzyBills created. That is the receipt number, total amount, tax amount. Let's have a look at it in Simpro. So there you go. That's the receipt and that's the PO. So EzzyBills created this PO. It used everything from the receipt. It has created a description PO since it was not a catalog bill. It has put in the total amounts correctly. And on the receipts, we do see that receipt. So all the three things as well as attachment, all the three things get automated under 1 minute. And this function of EzzyBills is primarily used widely by our people on the field. So technicians who are on the field, they use their mobile phone app to quickly upload those receipts. And in this admin dashboard, you can assign the job and we record it in your Simpro directly. And then from your Simpro, you can export it to your Xero. So that's our last workflow, job cost. Needless to say, all these workflows are system workflow. They're default workflows. And then we go into customizations or advanced things wherein if you want to do something additional. So let's say after project manager or before project manager, you want to send it to your accounts team, or after project manager, you want to send it to your accounts team. So they will check the cost centers, etc., all that stuff before you send it to Simpro or before you send it to Xero, right? So all these things, then we can configure in the workflows. We support up to 5 levels of approvals, as in one after the another. There can be 5 approvals, one after the another. We support that. We support multiple exports as well. The most famous workflow of EzzyBills is hybrid workflow, wherein job cost and employee expense claims gets clubbed in together, or job cost or spend money gets clubbed in together. Ideal scenario would be an employee is on the field and then he spends something from his pocket. Now that needs to be recorded on the job because you want it for the costing, as well as you want to process an expense claim for that. That's when we have our hybrid workflow, wherein first we send it to job cost, where you select the job, it gets recorded in Simpro on that job, and immediately later we export it to Simpro as expense claim for that employee. Now, I'm not going to include that in this session because it's a quite extensive setup to do, but it's super easy for employee. It's just he just takes out his phone, go to EzzyBills app, clicks picture of the receipt, and it's done. And then everything else is done by EzzyBills. So we have hybrid workflows as well. I am getting a lot of questions. Let's go on to that. In Simpro, stock orders do not have project manager. How does EzzyBills manages approval for stock orders? Right. So this has been long in discussion, wherein if you're using project approval workflow as a default workflow, you're sending everything there. For the stock orders, you do not have project managers. In that case, we do have a customization which we can put in. I need to check if it's been completely developed. I think we were doing it for one of our clients, wherein if it's a stock PO, they wanted to send it to someone else. So we are in process of doing that. If you want to get that done, get in touch with me, send me an email. I will check where is the progress, but we can handle that. Wherein if it's a stock PO, we can send it to someone else by default. We can do that customization for you. Get in touch with me, and then I'll grab some more details. And we'll get onto it. So in that case, instead of seeing no project manager, missing project manager, and then you will have to do it manually. Instead of doing that, we can just assign one email wherein if there is no stock, if it's stock PO, assign it to that email address, and then you can divert it to the approval from there. Can you send an approval of a PO to an email address that is person not on the job? Absolutely yes, but then it needs to be handled not on this workflow. We will not do project manager workflow because that is designed to grab the project manager. If you don't have the project manager or if you don't support it, then we will just do the normal EzzyBills approval workflow, which is not dynamic like project manager. It's not going to go look in your SIMPRO. We can simply set the approver. It could be any email address, and then EzzyBills will send the approval email to that approver. We can also, EzzyBills is supremely customizable product, right? We can also do a customization wherein, let's say if you have a decision-making document, like if it's this supplier goes to this approver, if it's different supplier goes to that, or even if it's a value range, amount range, it's a job. If you have any decision-making document which EzzyBills can refer to and decide it's this supplier, so it goes to Tim. It's between 2 and 5,000, it goes to Matt, so on and so forth. If you have something like that, we can also deploy an AI customization, which is making decision for you. So you have a document, based on that, you do the decision. We will just configure that document in EzzyBills, and then the AI agent or AI function is making that decision, and it's diverting the traffic to the right project. As soon as the bill comes in, based on the few parameters of the bill, it will look up the document, make the decision who is the right approver for this supplier bill, and it will send it. We do have that as well. It's our most recent feature. It's AI is going crazy these days. So we have our own AI functionalities as well. We're going to do our next webinar on AI. So we can do that. Get in touch. Let me know the requirements that you have. And yeah, if we can do it, I'm more than happy to look into it, right? So we have covered pretty much all the workflows. We're out of time. We're running out of time. We've covered all the workflows. If you have any questions anymore regarding the SIMPRO workflows, let me know. Pop it in the chat. One last point is in terms of SIMPRO subscriptions. If you go to the buy page, you will be able to see all the SIMPRO subscriptions. SIMPRO starts at enterprise E10 level. So SIMPRO and Scene 7, they do not come in the first three plans, which are light, standard, and premium. So SIMPRO starts in the enterprise E10 plan of EzzyBills, which what we call SIMPRO starter plan. And that plan only supports one single workflow, which is the default workflow, SIMPRO PO check. So when you sign up for a trial, you have all the features and functions enabled for a simple reason. The trial is operating at an enterprise E50 level, which also has free customizations. After you have done the trial, if you choose to go ahead with an E10, your other workflows might get deactivated or might not work because the infrastructure doesn't support it. In case you would want to have all the workflows, you can then go one step up, E20, that unlocks all the workflows. And depending on if you need customization, that's a separate topic. If you need any sort of customizations, we need to look into what sort of customizations they are, which level they fit. We have different levels of customizations. If something fits in level 1, you will then sit there. And depending on what level the customization would fit in, we would then suggest you that would be the plan that would be the right for you. But quite a few clients would go with an E10 and then their other workflows stop working or they don't work and then they come to us like it's not working. So that could be the reason. So you might just want to keep a check on that as to if you just want the PO check where you want to throw your bills in SIMPRO, or you want more than one workflows or all the workflows which you can get in each one. So that's the point to remember. Do we have any more questions? The multi-company, absolutely yes. We do support multi-company. The setup of multi-company is a little bit complex thing. So we would want, like ideally in an ideal scenario, if you do this setup that I have shown here, one account for SIMPRO, one account for Xero. If you do this much connected with your SIMPRO and Xero, reach out to me and just send me an email and then I will configure your multi-company. It needs to be configured in a certain fashion with certain settings. The benefit of multi-company is simply if you have, let's say, 4 entities in SIMPRO, then you will have 4 instances of EzzyBills, 4 different upload email of EzzyBills as well, correct? Then it becomes a manual hectic wherein you have to forward the right bills onto the right entity, which is a manual thing. You can avoid that completely with simple level 1 customization, wherein We will set up the multi-company for you. There will be 4 or 5 as much as entities you have in Simpro, but you will send everything to one single email address of EzzyBills, and EzzyBills will then look up where this PO sits in 4 or 5 companies you have, and we will move that bill automatically onto that company. It's a little bit technically complex setup. Let us know. We do have that functionality, and we can support both purchase orders as well as work orders. So we can look where the PO is in which company, move the bill to that company and process it there, along with the workflow. If you have any approval requirements, etc., we can do that as well. Shilling's asking for contractor workflow. Can you pick up 2 work orders for one invoice? This is something that we do not support at the moment. So if one bill comes with 2 different purchase orders on it, we cannot send it to 2 different purchase orders. But if 2 bills, separate bills, partial receipts, they come for one PO, that is supported. Similarly, for the contractor workflow, if one contractor invoice contains more than one work order in Simpro, we cannot process that invoice onto both. We will just process it onto one work order. So we do not support it. We do support the otherwise. If your one work order has more than one bills, we support that. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. It was a good session. If you have any more questions or queries, please feel free to reach out to support, or you can also reach out to me. I shall put my email address in the chats. There you go. So that's my email. I've put it in the chats. If you have any questions regarding Simpro, if you are already existing customer or you are a new customer, if you have any questions, any queries, feel free to reach out. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.